Welcome to Let's Talk, a premier learning center for English communication skills, making you speak fluent English with neutral accent.
Chapter 4: Plosive Sounds. Certain alphabets sound explosive. This session describes those sounds, gives examples of each sound and demonstrates each sound for single words as well as the words occurring in sentences. In this session, you will learn about the plosive sound of P, the plosive sound of T, and the plosive sound of K. These are the sounds about which you have perhaps at some point of time wondered how the foreigners, especially the Americans, pronounce with such a thud of sound. And if you have ever tried to copy them, each time you must have found yourself wanting on these few sounds. There are lots of Indians who blindly try to copy these sounds, but the result sounds worse than the original Indian accent. This sessions teaches you how to perfect these plosive sounds for your tongue. The word plosive is derived from the word explosive. It obviously means a heavy burst. The English alphabet also contains some of these plosives, in the form of consonants. As we all know, the English alphabet consists of 26 letters, which are a combination of 5 vowels, that is, A, E, I, O, U, and 21 consonants. Out of these 21 consonants, 6 are known as plosives. These are P, B, T, D, K, and G. Now the question is, why are they known as plosives? They are known as plosives because these 6 consonants or letters are heavier than the rest of the consonants. They provide more of an impact, which actually means more of a burst. This burst is in the form of a gush of air, released from our mouth organ, while producing this sound. Even though B, D and G are plosives, however, we will only concentrate and try to improvise on the letters P, T and K. This is because B, D and G are plosives, offering a heavier sound than the rest of the consonants. However, they do not provide a gush, or a burst of air. So P, T and K is what we'll work on. Plosive sound, P. This is the first of the 3 plosive sounds that we are going to demonstrate. Note the differences between your familiar Indian sound of P, and the P sound of neutral accent. In order to produce an American P, we'll need to obtain a sound which is not so light as an Indian P, and not so heavy as a heavy Indian P. Rather just a sound which is in the middle. First, we need to slightly curl our lower lip inside, close our mouth and then get some amount of air trapped into our mouth. We then release this air with some pressure, but remember, not too much. Let's try this now. P. Say this 5 times. Next, we present 16 words that begin with P, rather, the plosive P sound. When you practice, listen to the audio words, release this air with some pressure, but remember, not too much. Now, let's practice the plosive P sound, with some words. People, places, pity, power, bic, petite, prison, pipe, present, patriotic, possible, pleasant, personal, private, party, police. Now, let's practice plosive P, with some American names. Peter, Patrick, Pamela, Patricia, Paul, Pauline, Pedro, Peggy. So keep in mind that P at the start of the word is always plosive. And, if the P is in the beginning of a word, it will always be a plosive P sound. And if the P falls in the middle, then most of the times it's a non-plosive P. However, in some cases, even if the P is in the middle, it will still be a plosive P. There's no such rule for this. However, at times apply your own judgment and see, in which way does the word sound better. Let's have a look at some examples. Importance. Cooperate. Appreciate. Apologize. Opponent. Appraisal. Improve. Cooperation. Appreciated. Appropriate. Applaud. Apply. Improvise. Cooperative. Appreciation. Upon. Apparent. Application. Now, let's practice further the plosive P sound with a passage. Pauline, Peter and Patrick were all perfect in the professional college. Patrick pretty much knew it all. Pauline and Peter picked up their degrees prior to Patrick. Pave our path for prosperity was their pledge. Patrick and Pauline would dream of places where they could procure peace and harmony. People would always pity the poor kids for how much they would pressurize themselves in their studies. Now, you have listened to a passage. The passage has a lot of plosive P sounds. Identify the plosive P sound, marked in bold in your book, and replay this part of the audio. You may have a question in mind. How do you identify the plosive P's form the passage? Well, there seems to be 3 ways. Read and compare with the foregoing interpretation and demonstration, or read the passage yourself, or listen to the audio again. Now, pause the program and solve the exercises in your workbook.
For a complete course on voice and accent, visit our website at letstalk.company.in.